let everybody know when I take a picture. Yes, and you know what? I'm going to do that going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta ask because most people are like,
Yes.
"What?" Looking down, like me. I'm
Yeah.
always
Yes, you're right. I'll wait a few minutes. I'll make you co-host, Toy.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Wait, when are we taking the pictures? Now or at the
Not
end?
yet, not yet. No, not yet. No, I'm
She
just,
got to let us know.
just
I
if you
will
could
let you
come on
know.
screen when she
So
does it.
Santu, come on
Yeah.
screen. Chandra, come on
I
screen.
will. I'm just doing something at the moment, but that's why I'm asking. Is it at the beginning or at the end?
Well, I'm
picture?
gonna let you know when. The reason is because I'm expecting more people to come.
I
So
see.
what I will do is I could do it now, but then hold on a second. Let me just hold on. I will.
You may just pause a minute and just say, "Hey, everybody, get your smile on." We're taking
Because
a
we have
picture."
Priyanka's coming in. I told you somebody else was coming in. So I want to make sure we have all the people.
Mhm.
All right. All right. I'm Tina Kadish. Welcome to the Inner Circle Tuesday event. Tonight we have a great speaker, Coach Toye Johnson-Vincent, who's going to be sharing the resilience strategies. And as an entrepreneur, you know, some of us, I don't know if all of you are an entrepreneur. Myself, I'm an entrepreneur. And however, you might be an aspiring entrepreneur, you're right now looking to be one. And this community is for women like yourself that could be aspiring to be an entrepreneur, already an entrepreneur, looking to grow their business. And every Tuesday, oh, hold on. Coach Toye, can you go back to stop
Yep,
share?
I stopped it. Yep, I stopped
Okay,
it.
and I'm gonna, Priyanka is coming in. Kathy and Priyanka, can you turn your videos on? Good. Priyanka's connecting. All right, we're gonna take a picture in a second as soon as Priyanka comes on video so that we can all look our best. Priyanka, you there? Oh, she's connecting. All right, so then I will, and then you can share your screen.
Santu is not on.
Santu, where are you, Santu? Oh, Santu, can you turn your video on? Thank you, Suze. And Priyanka still connecting.
Oh my God, Santu has a note taker. That's so cool.
She does, isn't that cool? I know she's all up on technology. All right, Priyanka's still connecting. Go Santu, I love it.
Trying.
All right.
I'm nowhere near what I need to know.
You're
Well,
doing great, Santu.
while
That's awesome.
Priyanka is connected to audio, we're not going to do introductions at the beginning. I want all of you, you could put your info in the chat after Coach Toye's presentation so that you can connect with each other and so that we can all do that at the end. And we're going to go until 8 o'clock. And Coach Toye is going to go for about 15 minutes. And we're going to also have any questions that you may have for her. Feel free to do that. Priyanka is still trying to connect, I see. Okay. All right. I want to wait a few minutes for her to come in. But why don't we do this? Coach Toye, do you want to I don't know, let's take a picture now.
Okay.
Let's take a picture now. Let me, everybody's here. All right, look in the camera. All right, Santu, everybody's on. All right, look in the camera, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome. Everybody
Kathy,
good.
you look beautiful.
Oh,
Kathy,
thank you. I actually put on a full face of makeup today because I
You
went
look
to go have lunch with a
gorgeous.
girlfriend.
Look at
Yeah.
you.
Very
Thank you.
nice, very nice, Kathy. All right.
Yes.
All right, Coach Toye, I'm honored to present Toye Johnson-Vincent. She and I have known each other for a while. She has a great podcast. She's a no sugar coating coach, and she will share her wisdom tonight about resilience strategies. And what we do as part of the Inner Circle, this is a community where you are in a community of women that every week you get a topic and you get other benefits. And I'm going to put the link on how you can learn more about the Inner Circle, that if you'd like to be a member of the Inner Circle, go on there. I'll put the link in the chat afterwards and you can learn more about the Inner Circle because this is an amazing community. We have some of our members here tonight as well. And so Toye, take it away.
Okay. So I'm a co-host. I mean, you graded me. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to come back again to Coach Tina. Thank you.
You should.
Right. Well, anyway, good evening, everyone. A lot of you I already know, being a contributor, I just what I'm going to call myself on Coach Tina's platform. So I appreciate being a part of that, your group. And all right. So first of all, as can everybody still see me because all I see is my PowerPoint?
Mhm. I can,
I can see you. Yep, I can see you.
yep.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, and the PowerPoint, you see that okay?
Yes, yes, we do.
All right, good. And like I said, I'm not one to overwhelm with PowerPoint. If if I'm doing like that huge classroom, as you would know, Tina, really, really large audiences, you have to do a whole lot more. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want to overwhelm anyone. So we're going to get right to it with the condensed time.
Could you
And
go full screen, Coach Toy?
oh, can you see? Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
A
it's just a little
slideshow.
bit.
See what says slideshow on your end?
Yeah,
Click
it's just
on
so
slideshow.
much less distracting,
Yeah,
and it's such a nice presentation.
and go
Oh,
from
is that-
current slide and then click on from current slide.
Yeah, I just click the slideshow. I got the
Yep.
slideshow going.
Yep, and then go to from current slide. Click on that. To the
Here,
left. all
from
the way
current slide, it's there you
Right
go.
there.
up. Okay, and click
Oops.
on that,
Okay.
and then.
Okay, good. Is that better?
No, it's not.
No, it's the same.
What?
All right.
Oh, it went to full on mine.
Hmm.
It,
All
yeah,
right,
it,
not on our end. All right, well, you know what?
Don't
Let's
worry.
not worry about that.
Don't
No
knock
worries.
yourself out.
Go ahead.
oh, okay, because then it says end slideshow. Yeah.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Well, anyway, the first page is really my own. It's not really a huge introduction. Again, I'm Toye Johnson-Vincent. For those of you who have never met me or never heard about me, I hope that will change after tonight. I love talking about resilience, and my other favorite topic is networking. And so, and with that said, in life, we're always networking and we're always looking for try to tap in to resilience factor. Your factor may start at level one. Somebody might say my resilience factor is as high as a level 10. You're trying to wonder in between what happens. How do I go from a 1 to a 10? How do I enjoy my life and be resilient, bounce back, as they say, to get to that level 10? Well, the first thing I'd like to say is never beat yourself up about whatever number you think you are. And it really is all about you. You know how sometimes people will say, well, it's really not about me, it's about whatever. Well, no, tonight it is about you. It is about you tapping into your resilience factor. Now, when we think about ourselves, we don't like to boast and brag and all of those things. Many of us don't like to do it that way. But tonight,
Just circling
you
back to see
you
what you
can.
thought of the meeting today and to get some feedback.
Oh, is someone talking? Okay. Um, and so basically, you want to tap into your resilience factor. And how do you do that, you may ask? Well, number one, the first thing is, yes, you need to know who you are and how you operate in terms of whatever the stress is going on in your life. We sort of talked about that last week, facing adversity and different things. But going forward, resilience can happen and should be a part of you, meaning the way I deal with things is going to be very different than someone else. So if something happened traumatic in your life, it doesn't mean that you will react the same way, right? And so that's where you start to say, well, you often wonder, well, how did they went through something, a friend of mine or a cousin of mine, family member, they went through something very traumatic and they seem like they have it all together. So what's the operative word? You seem as though you have it all together when in fact you probably really don't. And in business, what are we taught to do as an entrepreneur? I'm a seasoned professional, but in your realm of being an entrepreneur, business owner, you are pretty much taught from the gate out. You have to at least know and feel that you have it all together, and you will build on that. So even if you don't have, everything in a row right away, right? Maybe your products and services aren't fully developed yet, or your model of your business isn't fully developed, and that's where Coach Tina comes in and business coaches, etc. That's where you start to tap into, well, it's fine. I don't have to have every single thing in order for me to be great or to be good or better than good. You just don't. So that's the first thing right off the bat. I think when we hear the word resilience, I'm going to just put this question right out there. It needs to be interactive. What is the first thing that comes to your mind, anyone, when we're talking about resilience? And I'm going to the next slide. Anybody, anyone.
I'll go, Toy. For me, resilience is that no matter what you're going through, you just stay strong. You really stay grounded. You get through it. You navigate through it. No matter
Able
what.
You don't
to
quit and
bounce
give
back,
up.
and you don't give up.
Mhm.
Who
Bounce
said
back.
that?
Who said don't give up? Was that
Kathy.
Kathy? Yeah, yeah. And like you said, no matter whatever you're going through, well, and don't give up. But that must be really hard. That's a hard pill to swallow every minute. Somebody, don't give up, don't give up. Goodness, I just want to give up today. I don't want to be I don't need the perfect scenario to be great today. And I think that's where you have to connect the dots between to be resilient. Something happened. Maybe it's with our children. Maybe it's with a family member. Maybe a good friend. And you want to say everything is going to be okay, for that moment. But the way you feel may be very different than the way they deal with something. So it doesn't have to be exact. I think to get past the, resilience as being level one. And I got to tell you, I want to say to all of you tonight, even if you've never met me or you will never meet me in life, I want you to understand that your level is already a 10. When you woke up this morning, you were a 10. When you talked to that client before you came on this Zoom, you were a 10. So you are resilient because whatever happened yesterday, which you probably won't share here tonight, you don't have to, but maybe 1 out of 5 of us had something that wasn't so great yesterday. Imagine that, right? So with that said, you don't have to be perfect, and that's the real deal when it comes to resilience. Now, one thing I want to say about resilience, people say, have you heard of this, what everyone keeps saying, bouncing back, bounce back when they talk about resilience?
Yes, bouncing back. Yes.
Yeah. Anybody tell me, how does that make you feel when someone says, oh, you can bounce back from that? You should be able to bounce back from that. Oh, I went through that. You should be able to do that in your business and your life. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know about anybody else, but when someone says, oh, you can bounce back, first of all, they don't know me.
I don't know. Mhm.
Okay. They don't know the situation. They may not know the situation.
Mhm.
And then now they're giving you advice that you should, oh, you could bounce back, it's going to get better, but you don't really know. Okay. The situation. So
Yeah.
unless you know the situation, unless you know what, you're not inside of me to feel it, what I'm going through. So to tell me to bounce back, yeah, it's good. We need to bounce back, but we don't really know.
But we don't really know. Anybody else? What is your take on bouncing back? Does it really bother you when someone says that? Anybody?
Yeah, I think so. So for me, I think someone to say you're going to bounce back, or that's just generic. I think that people say that either they don't know what else to say, or they're so disconnected that they're not engaging in what you're saying. And I think that so many times we want to put ourselves, that what we've been through, someone else who is going through something similar, like Coach Tina just said, you don't know my experience and what I'm going through. Even if you've been through something similar, you don't know the experience of it because it's mine.
That's
So
right.
bounce back is not something that everybody. So yeah, 9 times out of 10, depending on what it is, I do feel like it's just a generic comment, and that they're really not engaged in what I'm trying to um, talk to them about or something like that. So I don't like that. I don't like that. I think it's
Right.
just generic.
Okay, you're
Okay.
right.
Well,
And
Sean, one of the things that Sean said was, you mentioned the fact
Somebody
that
has to turn.
generic, and that's interesting because a lot of times when we think of resilience and even facing adversity, again, back to your previous meeting, we start to put everybody in the same space. And we cannot all be in the same space, even in your business. I mean, business is competitive. So what I do understand, even as a seasoned professional, is that if I don't produce, someone else will,
right,
right? So
right.
we're always looking to be at a high level, right? Functioning high level. And that's where you tie in when people start saying about bouncing back. But what you still have to keep in mind is that your sanity, your emotional stability, your physical, how you feel every day when you get up to start accomplishing goals you have to be able and willing to say, look, I'm just not able to do this today. I am resilient. I've gone through many things in my life, but today I have too many things coming at me. You may need to refocus and regroup. So that's one of the things. And if I went back to my very first, if I went back to the very first slide,
Here we are.
we had the top said resilience. And then if you in the middle, it says strategies and then success. So you may not necessarily find success right as, you quote unquote bounce back because there's so many different layers of resilience. Anybody with me on that? It's so many different layers. It's like a
Yes.
banana. You have to peel back the layers of your resilience factor. And on a scale of 1 to 10, look at I don't know if you can see the photo. It's a picture of what? What is that? Chess game?
Chess
Mhm.
game. Yes.
And chess is very different. Anybody play chess or have played chess?
No.
Okay. You realize, am I right? Chess is very different from playing checkers.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
it is. And Coach Toy, we have two questions. Suze and Mona have their hand up.
Yes,
Um,
please. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Suze.
So what I wanted to just respond is, this concept of resilience, okay?
Mhm.
The dictionary, the noun for resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. And we want to make sure that we incorporate the word toughness.
Mm.
We always talk about being
Yes.
thick-skinned in business, right?
Yes.
Because how many no's do we get versus how many yeses,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So the fact of the matter is you use this chess game because the difference between chess and checkers is there is a strategy involved. And
Mm.
there's also a strategy involved with resilience.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm telling you, I can't wait to have a cup of tea because I don't drink coffee when I get to Connecticut with you, between you and Coach Tina, because you really have really hit it. And that's true. There is a strategy and I think as a certified life coach, I'm always thinking about strategies, strategically getting to the goal. But before I became a coach, that's really not the way I was thinking. So again, it's okay to regroup and reprocess how you feel about being resilient without being burnt out, without feeling overwhelmed. So your strategies that you have to put in place, if that means asking for help with business, even if someone has no clue about what you do, but how would they know if you don't explain it to them? How, if you're bouncing things off of people, like in this group, it's wonderful because I kind of came in as a seasoned professional, as a contributor, try to do every other week or something like that. But imagine you all who are really a part of this group. You have to be able to take what you can and not just take, also you give back to the group, your team members in the group, and you will build on your resilience. And I can tell you right now, you will definitely create your own strategies for success. I put success at the end, and I'll tell you why. because at the end of my podcast, my broadcast, I always say, I try to remember to say it. Let me just say that. I say, success is in your future.
True.
But my mindset here, I like to think is that success, I'm already successful. So even if someone outside who doesn't know me, they don't know what my brand is, they don't have a clue, they just see a title and they try to guess, and then they try to match you that you look like someone else or you're doing something similar, but you're unique. And that's where I know internally that I'm already successful. Even, and I'm going to say that F word, you don't have to block me. It's not going to be that F word. Get your mind out of the gutter. The F word meaning failure. If you've ever said it to yourself, I'm sure along the lines in life, somebody, maybe back when you were a child, resilience. They thought you would never be something or someone. You wouldn't get anything accomplished.
Mhm.
And that, to them, that meant failure. But now you're an adult, and we can't take that kind of stuff in because it's negative. So you are resilient. You've always been, and you've always been successful. And by the way, if no one has told you that today, the No Sugarcoating Coach today is telling everyone on this platform, you are already successful.
Yes, we
So
are.
Thank you.
anybody want to say anything? You're welcome. Anybody have any thoughts before I just go on to slide number 2?
Well, Mona has her hand up. So she has a comment. Mona,
Hi,
question?
Mona.
Yes, thank you. So I put in the chat that some days I have to give up to get up, show up and keep going. And for me, that ties into what you were saying about bounce back. Whereas I see, I'm like a hard rubber ball. They had something in the 70s called a super ball, and it always bounced back. And you could never tell where it was going to land.
Did it go?
And I like to think of myself as that. And I don't believe in other people should. So if somebody says I should bounce back, well, that's their opinion, but I have to let go of that because I have no control over them, only over myself. And
Right.
so, yeah, there's no room for shoulds, which in my mind is an imaginary place. I live on planet Earth where, and I try to keep my feet on the ground. On planet should, everything is as it should be, but on planet Earth, things rarely are as they should be.
Right.
Wow.
I love that.
Hold on a minute. We just a round of applause for that.
I love it,
see that
Mona.
I'm in a great form. I love it. I love it. I love it. And thank you, because you really broke that. You know what? Thank you for dropping those gems. Is Mona, right?
Mona, yes.
Yes, dropping gems tonight, because we're all learning from one another. Even as a coach, I can learn from someone else. You don't have to be a coach to learn from a coach, but Coach Tina will tell you, most coaches have a coach to help them
Yes.
gain
Absolutely.
success. Okay.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Anybody else before I move on? Watching my time with you guys. All right. So, speaking of, how do you feel about time? You like it? Can you do anything about it? Can you manage it? Do you manage it? As it relates to resilience, timing is everything.
Yes.
And most of us think about getting back to the way things were. You don't feel like you're accomplishing something. So when I say resilience, and if you accomplish something, then you can continue to accomplish things, whether it's in your business, your family life, your very personal life, because you can have family, but sometimes you just need to sit in the seat by yourself, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
start
Chandra.
thinking about.
Chandra has
Hi,
her hand up.
Sandra.
Sorry, Toy.
No, go ahead, Chandra. Please chime in. Unmute.
Unmute yourself, Chandra. Chandra, you there? Unmute
I
yourself.
asked it. Yep. Chandra.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Sandra.
All right. Hi. When it says timing is everything, timing is keeping yourself and everything else organized.
Mm. And what happens? What happens when we aren't organized? How resilient can we be if we're not organized? How successful can we be if we're not organized? Can you speak a little, can you elaborate, Chandra?
Honestly, it's not successful if you're not planning ahead of time.
Okay.
True.
Anybody else agree or have a different spin on it? Anybody?
No, but I agree with Chandra. You know, it's
Yeah.
planning, it's managing your time. We all have
Mhm.
the same amount of hours in a day. It's how are we managing? What are we
Yeah.
doing with our time? Are we focusing on the right activities?
Mhm.
You know, are we
Yeah.
prioritizing what we need to focus on? What are we focusing on? It's being intentional every day with what we're doing.
Being intentional every day. That is correct. And when we get up, even before, I don't know, sometimes, like myself, 1 minute I could be about, well, let me get everything done tonight because I know I have an early morning meeting or midday and I like to get things in order, right? So I've been knowing about this tonight for a little over a week now, right? But when you get right up to that day, things can and do happen, right? And it's not always good things. Like I could have had a terrible day in the morning. Fortunately, I didn't. I had a wonderful podcast guest and everything. So that all worked out for me. So I'm hyped up before I even came to Coach Tina's platform. But where would I be, right? So my thing is about timing. Timing is everything. And what I mean by that, as it relates to the topic tonight, is that you don't have to be on other people's time, meaning they're going to say, well, you've gone through this. Why are you still stuck in that moment? Why are you still stuck in your business? Didn't you go through this already? Someone ever said that to you? Business leaders on this platform? Raise your hand if that's happened or someone actually said it to you.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And
please.
it's hard to hear. Go ahead, Santu.
Oh
Go
no, I
ahead,
was just
Santu.
raising my hand to your question. That's all.
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to make a comment or just a question? But
No, it was just a response to you about how
okay.
people get frustrated at you for not seemingly progressing forward, or they don't
Yes.
see
Yeah.
the visual results of it.
Hmm. Yeah. But isn't that interesting how sometimes in terms of being resilient, other people cannot see your vision. Only you are the visionary. You
Mm.
are the visionary. And that's it. After that, it's it's all game because if you're not in tune with your own timing in your life, then how do you expect to actually become successful? And what I mean by that, we can be organized. We do, yes, you have everything, and maybe I don't know, it could be as simple as just organizing your calendar, which can be a pain sometimes. A calendar, someone calls or whatever. We don't even call people anymore, right? I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody on the phone. Everything is by text and everything. That kind of drives me bananas because I'm old school, I have a phone, I have a landline. Um, but in terms of being, organized, and then all of a sudden they throw something in and says, oh, we need to cancel this day. We need to cancel that. We need to reschedule. That can happen all day long if you let it. Wink, wink, if you let it. So what happens is,
Keyword,
how
if
can
you let it.
yeah, if you let it, hashtag if you let it. And the reality is, we want to be able to get back to how things used to be in terms of moving forward on our level upward. We don't want to stay at level one. We want to be at that 10 factor on the resilience. So timing is different for everyone in terms of being able to quote unquote bounce back, which I really don't like that term bounce back, but just to be able to refocus and reset, if you will. I like the word reset versus bounce back, which is so generic, which is what Sean alluded to or actually said. So, that if something happened to you way back in your childhood, many of us are still dealing with what happened in our childhood. How did our parents or guardians talk to us? How were we raised? Under what conditions were we raised? But if you're anything like me, I had a New York City mom who was in the school system, and she happened to be my 10th grade teacher. So that wasn't fun, going on the New York City train in the morning when you don't want to. Yeah, I loved your mom, but I really don't want to see you right now because I want to be with my friends. You know what I mean? So it's just that kind of thing where you want to, again, getting back to how things used to be. That's what we want to do, and you will get there. But don't beat yourself up about not getting there on someone else's time in terms of your resilience. Questions, comments? I'm going to the next screen. We only have two more. Anybody? Comments?
I just see some things in the chat. Mona said, I am inconsistently consistent, which allows me to do things in ways that honor my strengths. Which is
Inconsistently consistent.
consistent, which allows me to do things in ways that honor my strengths.
Wow.
Yes.
Mona, we need to talk to you. Mona, you need to chime in right now.
Okay, I'm
Mona,
here.
tell us about that. Inconsistently consistent. Tell
Well,
us about.
again, it comes back to other people's shoulds. You should be consistent. To be consistent, to be successful in business, you have to be consistent. I heard something yesterday that being consistent is the queen of success in online marketing, social media marketing. And it's like, the more I try to be consistent, the more disorganized I get. I'm a creative. And if on Monday I feel like creating content, then I create content. But if on Monday my creative bone isn't juiced up and ready to fly with that creativity, I'm gonna check my bank account or do some of the administrative stuff in the background. I allow myself that individuality because I am a round peg and I will never fit in a square hole. Or, it's just, I'm not going to force myself to be consistent according to everybody else's definition of consistent.
Yes. And we all try to be consistent because we all want, what's the end goal? To be successful, to accomplish a goal or multiple goals, right? And so that's when, if something happens and you lose a client, how will you feel? Are you going to be resilient? Or are you going to sit there? Are you going to sulk all day, all year? Or are you going to move on? Because I believe COVID kind of taught us that. We all have to bounce back. There it goes again, even though I don't want to use that. But, oh, we're bouncing back. I like to say, well, we had to reset our business, even family life. We had the kids were home and homeschooling and everything else. And now all of a sudden they shut schools down, right? So everybody's home would have changed. Even if you lived alone, that had to be a serious change, right?
Yes.
Used to seeing people going out and networking. But thank you for that. So that's what I meant in terms of timing is everything, and really getting back to how things used to be. That's what we want to do so that we can be successful in our business, in our professions, whatever it is that we do, including family life. Moving on. Have patience, hurry up and wait. Have you ever heard of the term hurry up and wait? Anybody?
Hurry up and wait. I haven't heard hurry up and wait, but I've heard of have patience.
Yeah.
And I'm not a patient person.
If you've ever been around the military, hurry up and wait is the code.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Standard code.
Okay.
Absolutely. Hurry up and wait.
That's it. Hurry up and wait. And when I, at some point was doing some modeling in Boston, and I lived in New England, and I remember the first thing they said, you coming out to the runway and all these things, and they said, oh, well, the first thing you need to learn, Toy, is this is a hurry up and wait environment. I said, what? I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to, cue up the music. I'm ready. What else are we waiting for? This is the event. But again, you have to have patience because, again, something will pull us back on a daily basis. There's always going to be that, and I don't want to say negative energy, but something else that can impact your day. if I had to break this down for resilience, even day by day, not year by year, your stats look good. Everybody knows that you're checking your money, your bank account. We're doing all of that. Of course you will, you know, but you got to have patience first, because you will always, if you don't, it's going to be very difficult to understand how can I be more resilient in my business or my personal life. And trust, what I feel is that as a life coach, but my background with career development and HR, I always say if there's something going wrong in your personal life, it can spill over into your career life, your profession, you know, your things that you do on a daily. In this case, mainly all of you are either seasoned entrepreneurs, or even if you're just starting out, and then you have no patience. You're like, oh, somebody told you, it's a get rich. You know those get rich quicks? They call them schemes.
Yep.
You know, if we go on social media, they say, well, if you buy this, I have 1 million people in my inbox every single day telling me how many podcast guests I can have, like within an hour.
Oh,
Uh, oh, but if you read the fine print, it's like, well, you just pay so and so, and then it's, yeah, okay. That's a delete for me. So there
yeah.
is no, you know, the hurry up and wait means, yeah, you're either hurrying up all of the time, but then you have to pause. And so that you can stay in your game, stay really in the game and on top of your game of resilience, because you will fall some way to the wayside. It's just life in general. That's how it just happens. So you want to refocus on what really works in your life, not what someone else, even if your husband, your spouse, your significant other, whomever it is, they're great for guidance, but you have to know who you are first and understand how you deal with adversity again, and how you are able to bounce back for the most part when you've had to face adversity in your life or your business. And refocusing means just that re, that means you're redoing something. You have to rethinking. I like the point about rethinking mindset. All of that is tied into resilience and the strategies for success. You can build your own strategy. You might say, I'd like to have all of my things written down before I do a speaking engagement. There are some speakers who rather just do PowerPoint all of the time,
Mm.
all of the time.
Mm.
And I like to do it when I believe it may be necessary and different things. I have a strategy for why I would use it and why I wouldn't, depending on the group, the size, and all of that. So again, but that doesn't change who I am. I'm a speaker like the other person, right? So again, you'll find your niche and what will work for you. Refocus on what is working in your life and strategize. That's how you scale. And we're talking going up, not going down, scaling up. I'm not talking about the scale that we dread, that dreaded scale that's in my bathroom that I don't want to go on every day. You know,
Good one.
and you know, so there it is. And of course, last but not least, we want to be able to accomplish realistic goals, not goals that are just so, you know, just willy-nilly, just kind of, you know how people say, well, I want to do this, and I think I want to travel the world, and I want to go around the world in about 30 days. Well, maybe if you have the capital, maybe you can do that. I wouldn't tell someone that they couldn't. I would say you must have a serious strategy for visiting, going around the globe in 30 days, including money, dollars and cents. So have patience. The hurry up and wait is, yes, you will find yourself doing that, but then you have to remind yourself you may have to pause so that you're not frustrated in not accomplishing your goals, which there lies the resilience factor, building upward, scaling, etc. Questions, comment? Anybody?
Any questions?
You can
Santu's
tell how
putting
many
in there
people.
30 days. You need to spend 5 days in London and 5 days in Paris. Thank you, Santu. So true. So true. Yes.
Yes. That's exactly what I hear what she's saying. Yeah, you have to spend, yeah, 30, it's not enough. I don't know how many people's on here tonight. I think maybe 70. But this is my last slide, ladies. Be open to change. I had to put an exclamation point there. But what did you notice first? Something is different about that sentence. It stands out.
Open
What
is
is it?
capitalized.
Open.
Yes,
Open,
yes.
just the word
Oh,
open.
and it's capitalized.
Yeah.
Right. So because many times we are so closed-minded, we just feel like, well, I tried this, that didn't work in my business. Well, I tried a new job, I didn't like the supervisor. Well, I went on a different job, I didn't like them either. And you thought you were changing for all of the right reasons, but if you're changing and you want to be more resilient, it has to be for the right reasons, not for just kind of, well, that's what I mean by being open to change, because there's going to be change all around you in your life as you grow, as you age, as you mature, all of that. And then the people in your family might not like the changes that they see. And then you have to decide, well, changing for me. I want to be open to changing. Maybe my business isn't working in this particular way. Perhaps you need to rethink. Perhaps you need to start a new business. Or maybe you need to slow it down and really get a coach that can help you define what it is you really should be or want to do. Because as coaches, we don't tell you what to do. We just coach you based on what you have already, and we want to try to help you enhance it and help you navigate the tools that you already have. And the ones that you have may not be working for you, and that's where we make suggestions. But please be open, and that's what I mean. Be open to change and open to gaining more clarity and vision on. It have to be a little bit more structured in order to gain and elevate your resilience factor. That 10 level is waiting on you, but your mindset today, as I close my presentation, you are all a 10. This isn't Dancing with the Stars. We're dancing with life. That's what we're doing. And that's the resilience. And you will, quote unquote, bounce back from anything that, you can put your mind to it. And the things that that will be tougher than others, I tell everyone, please make sure that you get some help and ask for help. Don't be afraid in your business or your personal life. You don't have to be super. It's okay to ask for help to make sure that you're navigating in the right direction. So I want to thank you. That's closing of Resilience, the Strategies for Success. And if anybody has any questions or comments, I appreciate them. And hopefully you'll follow me on social media. And if you have an event coming up, maybe you'll invite me to speak as well. And thank you, Coach Tina.
Thank you. And you can stop the share and we can, so everybody, any questions, comments before we wrap up the night? Yes, Steph.
I just want to say that was fantastic, and I'm like letting it all soak in. I took tons of notes while we were on there, like
Good.
tons of notes. So
Awesome.
thank you for that. That was great.
Thank you. And
Thank
if
you.
everybody can put your info in the chat now, got about 10 more minutes to go. And Priyanka, I know you came in, you probably were having some tech issues. Please, you're going to catch the recording. All of you will get the recording tomorrow for being here, but definitely put your info. I'm also going to put in the chat the information about our community here and how you can be a part of it if you choose to. And also I'm going to put my calendar link to schedule a call with me for those of you that are here brand new tonight. I would love to learn more about you. Mona, I love Resolve It coaching, would like to learn more. I saw Michelle here as a travel coach. Chandra, we go a long way. Sean, would be great to reconnect with you. So everybody, I'll put my link in here so that we can reconnect, learn about each other. Any questions? No questions for Coach Toye?
Did I leave something out?
No,
If anybody,
no.
would you have wanted me to, is this something that you say, you know what, let me just ask you something? I'm very open to whatever you want to ask.
So I just want to say that I think this was amazing. I think one of the things that we can take away from this is if we put that down on paper, each of your PowerPoints, and we break them down as they relate to us. Because one of the things you were talking about was timing. I think timing is like the key to everything, but that wasn't something that I got easily. I had someone say to me that made me think about this, only kind of about 3 months ago. She said, but it wasn't your time.
I've heard that too, Sean.
Yes. And so for me, I was like, oh my gosh. So it was the time, it was someone else's time. It wasn't mine. Now, when my timing is coming the way that I wanted to, I don't know. But the thing about it is that's part of being resilient, because I won't stop pushing through this as I'm waiting for my time. And so I think it would be like really wise if we all just took the time to dissect each of those PowerPoints for ourselves to help us get a balance, the organization, and maybe find out a little bit more about what we actually think about those things as they relate to us. So it was great. It was really great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
That
it.
is awesome. That is amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna have to ask you again to smile because my picture somehow disappeared. And I know, I hate, but I will do it again. Hold on, let me a second. All right, turn your cameras on now, because now we have Priyanka. All right, I'm gonna count to 3. On 3, look in the camera. All right, everybody on camera? Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I want to
Questions
know.
or comments? Anybody comment is fine.
Yes, Santu, did you have a comment?
Yeah, actually, sorry, Toy, it's not for you, it's for Tina. I want to know how you take a picture on camera, like how you take a
Oh, all
group
I do is
picture.
print screen on your keyboard. I
Oh.
have a print screen button, and so that's
wow.
all I do. Yeah, and I just put it now. So I'm just okay. I just took it down, and I'm gonna post it after the meeting. So all right. So wrap it up here. Next week we have another topic. We have creating a supportive network. So this month it's all been about resilience, overcoming challenges, overwhelm. And next, to wrap up May, because it's May 30th, Tuesday, it's all about creating a supportive community, networking. And we're going to wrap up May, and stay tuned for June. We're going to have a whole new month of new topics. So I put my info in the chat about this community, the inner circle. And I'm happy to announce also that this community is now going to be on a podcast. So every Tuesday, on Fridays, every Friday, you will get the episode. It'll be posted, and you'll be able to have the audio, and you'll be able to see or hear, I should say, all of our episodes. So it's the Inner Circle podcast. So just stay tuned for that. That's coming up. All right. Any other comments, questions? Yes, Suze.
I just wanted to say, Coach Toye, as always, you're a total rock star.
Oh,
And just the fact that you keep it simple, but you focus on what's most important.
Yes.
thank
And
you.
you keep it interactive. That's because you're such an awesome podcast host. So thank you and blessings to you.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. So, I mean, and I've had a really rough week. It's only
Oh,
Tuesday.
did you really?
So
Oh, I hear you.
feel
I've
like,
had it. This week
yeah,
has been a total shit show already.
Oh my God. Oh, I know the feeling. And no, I hear you and I hope it gets better. And Mona and Michelle, I'd like to hear, what was your takeaway for tonight? Your biggest takeaway? Mona.
Sometimes the more we resist something, the more that it might be intended for us.
Okay,
So,
awesome. All
yeah.
right.
So yeah, what's waiting for me is on the other side of my resistance.
That's
And
right. That's a
yeah, I
good
kind
one.
of got that with resilience. And thank you,
Awesome.
Toye. It was very informative.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
Good job,
and
Mona.
Mona's a coach. I
She
am.
is Resolve It Coaching. So like I said, let's connect. I'd like to
Yeah.
learn more about you. Michelle, what was your biggest takeaway tonight? Are you there?
I am here.
What was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway from tonight was I love how at the very beginning when we were talking about bouncing back and how it's really true that everybody is different. And then also with the time strategies, because everybody's different there too. You know, I live in a household with 4 boys. One is my 88-year-old father-in-law, and one is a teenager in middle school. And
Whoa.
and it's so that my schedule can change just like this. You know, I can plan my whole day and think it's going to go perfect, and then all of a sudden my father-in-law needs something, or you know, things like that. So I love how, you know, just being able to hear about our schedules, and you know, we need to be easily adaptable to what's going on and not let it ruin our day. You know, we need to build up that resilience so that we can move forward.
That's true. And you and Kathy need to talk, because Kathy has 5 boys, heavy schedule too. So Michelle, you and Kathy need to get together. Sean, how about you? What was your takeaway for tonight?
Well, I have to say, my biggest takeaway, well, it was a lot, but I would have to say about the whole timing is everything,
Okay.
you know, and how that ties into resilience. I had my day was not what I planned for it to be when I got up this morning. And everything that I planned prior to my first meeting I had today did not happen. Totally didn't happen. And I had to really, really fight through that I didn't accomplish what I wanted to, and get on to the next step that I had in my day, even though I wasn't feeling it. And then a meeting I thought was tomorrow almost followed that last meeting. So it was really, I had to keep on reminding myself, and I think this is really a takeaway.
Good.
That
Awesome.
regardless of what your day turns out to be, if you stop and look back at the accomplishments, not the failures, because I could have focused on the fact that I didn't get what I wanted to get done before my 9:30 meeting on the podcast with Coach Toye. I could have focused on that, but I kept reminding myself that even in between what I wasn't expecting to happen, I still pushed through and accomplished some things, even though it was out of order of my accomplishment of what I wanted to accomplish.
Good. Very good,
So that
Sean.
timing thing is really important.
Awesome. All right. Anybody else? Yes, Kathy.
Well, one thing I've learned, and I have a house full of boys too, Michelle, so I understand your world. But we all, as women, have had to figure out how to adjust our sails and realize that things don't just happen to us, they happen for us. And it's up to us to take that and pick up the pieces and go on from there, because the only way to have any success is you have to start with some failures first, because if you don't have a starting point, you don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
And not everything goes well, and if it stops you in your tracks, you're not going to get anything accomplished.
Right. Right, very true, Kathy. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right, Coach
thank
Toye,
you.
I think that is it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wanted to say thank you, Michelle, for her comment. I know I heard Sean's, but I thank you very much for your comment. And I
yes.
also see you're a coach. So, and Kathy, I know, but you're right. You two do have a lot in common. But
Yes.
that's what I just love doing it in the platform, because we all may have that coaching background, but again, we all have individual lives. So we can learn from one another. So, and of course, Coach Tina, I do appreciate being a contributor in your group.
Well,
You know, I
thank you
appreciate
for coming. And
it.
does everybody know how to save the chat? If you need to save the chat, I've already saved the chat. So if you need to, connect with people here, please do so. And I hope to see you again next week for our topic on creating a supportive community. All right, as we wrap up May next week. All right. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a
A
good
long
weekend.
weekend, right? Long
Yes, it's a
weekend.
long weekend. Enjoy your
Yeah.
holiday weekend, everybody. Okay?
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Tina.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Coach
Have a
Toye.
good
Thank you,
night, everyone.
everyone.
Bye.